मजा चले जाओ रहा. Good afternoon, welcome to Vanik-Ias. We will discuss current affairs of 5th April. First topic is related to stocking down of 1 year's quota, right? So what happened? Supreme Court struck down 10.5% reservation with MBCs for 1 year's quota in Tamil Nadu. Okay, it's about reservation system. First, let's understand what is reservation system. Reservation system is provided to socially backward classes. For example, anybody who is socially backward, right? Educationally backward, economic backward. For example, women. In certain states there is reservation for women, because we see that educational literacy, there is a gap between literacy of men and women. Another thing is, majorly this reservation is given on the basis of caste, right? Why caste reservation is on the basis of caste? Because the socio-economic development of Indian society is on the basis of caste. If you see the hierarchy of community, then you will see the community which is at lowest socio-economic conditions, they belongs to the lowest caste, right? As the development of people is on the basis of caste, that is why our reservation is on the basis of caste. There is no any other logic, right? Especially to provide them social justice. Okay, there is many oppositions so far as caste is concerned, because why caste system, why reservation is on the basis of caste, why not on the basis of economic system, right? This is because majorly if you see, for example, in case of India, if we go through the participation of various castes so far as class 1 job is concerned, you will see the percentage of SCs and STs in class 1 jobs is not even 10%, not even 5%, it is hardly 3% to 4%. Whereas if you see the percentage of SCs and STs in group D jobs, it's enormous. That is why we will see that the job profile of various people is on the basis of caste. And if we see economic condition also, that is also on the basis of caste. Why? Because caste system since many years it has become, it has created various social inequalities in Indian society. That is why on the basis of caste we have been given reservation, and since last 2 and 3 years we are, government has imposed 10% reservation on the basis of economic background. If somebody is economical weaker sections have also got reservation. So one more issue is here is that Baniars in Tamil Nadu, whether they belongs to, whether they are socio-economic backward or not, rather than investing properly, rather than having a proper information or research, the government has given 10.5% to Baniars quota, to Baniars, right? And the government has given, and the High Court has struck down that. Why struck down? Just 1 second. Okay, one by one we will see. So Supreme Court upheld Madras High Court judgment which struck down the law. Madras High Court had struck down the law and Supreme Court supported that in Tamil Nadu last year. It provided 10% reservation to Baniars with the most backward classes, MBC, most backward classes. So the Tamil Nadu government has considered Baniars as the most backward classes and reservation in jobs and admissions to educational institutions as provided to Baniars. The recommendation of Tamil Nadu Backward Classes Commission chairman, on the basis of who has recommended it? It is recommended by Tamil Nadu Backward Classes Commission chairman, on the basis of which made a law by the state government based on Janarthanam Commission report. Remember Janarthanam Commission report, they may ask in prelims which commission of report, which because many times they ask the committee reports. Janarthanam committee reports, it ensured, it was recommended to provide Baniars 10.5% of quotas in as the most backward classes or MBC community, right? But that was made by Tamil Nadu, law was made by Tamil Nadu government, and High Court has upheld, High Court has struck down that, and Supreme Court supported, we can say supported to the judgment of High Court. Why? Let us see why Supreme Court has denied it. Earlier it was done solely on the basis of numbers without adequate data to show the relative backwardness of Bonnier community. Upholding the judgment, the top court said that it is the opinion that law didn't provide any substantial basis to treat Bonnier as a separate group compared to others among most backward classes. Thus 2021 Act is ultra virus of the Constitution. 2021 Act is ultra virus. What do you mean by ultra virus? Ultra virus means violation of Constitution, right? Ultra virus means violation of Constitution. This is, and Supreme Court under Article 13, it can declare any law as ultra virus if it found that is violates the principle of Constitution, right? Second issue why it struck down is that it didn't get any such substantial evidences or substantial basis on which we can say Bonnier caste belongs to the lowest backward community or it belongs to the most backward community. So there is no substantial data, there is no scientific evidence based on which you can declare Bonniers as the most backward community, right? You should show that they have a literacy which is lowest, they have social political participation at lowest, they have their educational qualification in higher education is the lowest, and share in government jobs, especially in class 1 jobs or class 2 jobs are lowest. Then only you can consider a particular caste as most backward class, right? So there is no such clear-cut evidences or clear-cut report before the Supreme Court and the High Court, they both struck down the law made by the Tamil Nadu government that is ensuring 10.5% of reservation to Bonnier caste as most backward communities, taking cue from the Indira Sawhney case. On the issue of caste-based reservation, the court in Indira Sawhney case, remember Indira Sawhney case is the most famous case so far as the reservation is concerned in Supreme Court. Let us stated that caste can be starting point but not the sole basis. It's not the sole basis giving reservation to a particular community. Caste is not the only basis just because a particular on the basis of caste we cannot give reservation. We have to consider the other elements as well. Similarly, caste can be a starting point providing internal reservation, but it is incumbent on the state government to justify reasonableness the decision and to demonstrate that caste is not the sole basis, right? Yes. Similarly, caste can be starting point for providing internal reservation. What do you mean by internal reservation? That means within OBC you can ensure that within OBC 5% of reservation can go to the this particular caste because they are the most backward among them, right? But that must be justified, that reasonableness in the decision and demonstrate that caste is not the sole basis. It is not the caste, but it is the socio-economic conditions, it is so level of backwardness that matters so far as Indira Sawhney and that is mandated by Indira Sawhney case of Supreme Court, right? Okay. Bonniers as a community, even as a backward community such as Thevars and Gaundars are largely seen in Tamil Nadu socially and politically powerful communities, right? So even Thevars, Gaundars, they are politically powerful, they are socially powerful, but still they are considered as backward. Bonniers is one of the largest and most consolidated backward communities that has consistency in retaining political representations from 1940 to 1950s. They are highly represented so far as political parties are concerned. So their political representation is not, they are not lagging so far as political representation is concerned. They are so much powerful so far as political representation is concerned since 1940s to 1950s. Then in political act of bargaining for community representation too, Bonniers have been ahead of other backward and most backward communities. Political bargaining, for example, for particular scheme, for particular subsidies, political bargaining and for developmental projects, that is in case of Bonniers are ahead of all other types of backward communities for decades, which includes their organized statewide agitation in the mid 1980s demanding exclusively 20% reservation for the state and 20% for central services. They have statewide agitation for 20% reservation in the state and 20% in the central services. So they are politically so strong and politically Politically, they were launching statewide protests. So politically and their bargaining power is very strong. Then Baniya Kula Kshatriyas. Supreme Court refers to in order to comprises 7 caste groups including Baniyas, Gaundars and Padayachi among others. They are categorized as most backward communities, which was carved out of other backward class category and made separate in the 1980s. Okay, they are called as yes, they are categorized as most backward classes and they are carved out of other backward classes from OBC in the 1980s. Okay. Next, Baniyar movement. Baniyars are one of the largest and most consolidated backward community, and largest backward community. So they can launch a huge protest. They are raised massive protest in the mid 1980s, demanding 20% reservation in the state and 2% in central and 20% in central services as well. It's not 2%, 20%. Political backing. Their movement was backed by Justice Party as well as self-respect movement. Self-respect movement by E.B. Ramaswamy Periyar, we can say Periyar self-respect movement. Organized protest began with the formation of Baniyar Sangam headed by A.S. Ramdos. Baniyar Sangam headed by A.S. Ramdos, a medical practitioner and later founded the political party PMK. Baniyar Sangam, A.S. Ramdos. Okay, so they are politically very strong and they have launched the most consolidated. Sorry. Sir. Okay. Next. On ground protest, the agitation began in 1986 with activists sending hundreds of letters and telegrams to then Chief Minister M.G. Ramachandran seeking an audience. As there is no response from the MGR, the then Rajiv Gandhi government agitation demanded started demonstration committees, strongholds and went to blockading the rail and road traffic, right? This was so Baniyars has launched large protest for the reservation. The blockades are effective because community members in each village would block busy highway stretches on their village borders. They would cut revenue trees on their side and on the state highway. One blockade in 1986 brought traffic to the entire state to a halt and thousands were arrested. One day blockade of trains followed by December 86. The peak was September 87 when road traffic in northern Tamil Nadu came to a halt for the entire week. So historically we have seen that Baniyars they have been conducting large scale strikes and blockade of roads and rail tracks for demanding their reservation in both in central services and state services. 8. That is, we can say an unreasonable demand of 20% reservation, right? Okay, reservation. Okay, after DMK government of M. Karunanidhi came to power 1989, OBC quota was split into two. One is backward classes, second is most backward classes. Backward classes and most backward classes. Baniyars were categorized as most backward classes with 107 other communities with 20% reservation. That is here 20% reservation within the most backward classes, not separate 20% reservation. 3 decades later, the then AIDMK government passed a bill and the current DMK government has implemented it with a government order ensuring 10.5% reservation for Baniyars within the 20% MBC quota. Right? Among the total OBC quota, there is 20% MBC quota and out of which 10% reservation for the Baniyars. It was implemented by AIDMK government. Tamil Nadu and reservation. The state government Tamil Nadu was primarily granting reservation. That means it is providing so much reservation. The most backward classes, MBC within backward classes. were identified in Tamil Nadu as early 1957 when they were considered equivalent to scheduled caste but without the factor of untouchability. It is said that these communities were impacted by criminal tribes, laws of British and enlisted as most backward classes. So far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, they are giving too much reservation, and they have given this reservation in 1957 within the OBC category. Okay. Next. So what need to be done? Supreme Court has struck down Tamil Nadu government as repeatedly giving these reservations to various communities without sufficient evidences and resolution. So what can be done? According to the government bill, 10% reservation was given to Baniyar Kshatriyas. MBC will have a reservation quota of 20% in the state. If government order was not struck down by the Supreme Court, the remaining 115 communities would be left with a 9.5% reservation between all of them. Environmental facility right. So all of them. Okay. So what is the issue? Issue is that 20%, the 10.5% among the total 20% reservation among the state, the government has given 10.5% to only 1 year, right? That means the rest 107 communities, they will get only 9.5%, and that will reduce their share. This is the problem, right? That's why Supreme Court has struck down and the High Court has also struck down the law. Okay, annual dolphin census. Next is annual dolphin census. The dolphin population along Odisha coast in the water bodies has increased, but the number of Irrawaddy dolphins Chilika has fallen according to annual dolphin census. So number of Irrawaddy dolphins in Chilika Lake, largest lagoon in Asia, it has fallen. Although the total number of dolphins has increased, but the Irrawaddy dolphins has particularly the number of Irrawaddy dolphins that has decreased. What are major points? A total of 6 species of dolphins, Irrawaddy, bottlenose, humpback, striped, finless and spinner dolphins have been recorded. 6 species of, see, remember these 6 species of dolphins, they may ask in prelim. Irrawaddy dolphins, bottlenose, humpback, striped, finless and spinner dolphins have been recorded. These 6 types of, according to dolphin census, these 6 types of dolphins are recorded. As per 2022 dolphin census, Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary and nearby areas in Bhitarkanika saw dolphin count skyrocket to 540 from 342 last year. It has increased. It has increased a lot in Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary, that is in Odisha, in Ganjam district. Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary, that in Bhitarkanika, that is in Odisha, near Bhitarkanika. So dolphin count has increased from 342 to 540. These included 45 Irrawaddy, 135 bottlenose, 332 humpback and 30 striped and 15 spinner dolphins. The Chilika Lake, which is a major tourist attraction for Irrawaddy dolphins, saw the numbers of its flagship aquatic annual drop sharply from 162 to 151. So it has reduced a lot. Irrawaddy dolphin, the population of Irrawaddy dolphin has reduced. There has also been a fall in the number of bottlenose dolphins in Chilika. Odisha has total 208 Irrawaddy dolphins. So far as Irrawaddy dolphins and bottlenose dolphins inside Chilika, they are getting reduced. Why they are getting reduced? Because of marine pollution, because of this fishing net, because of unsustainable fishing and various anthropogenic activities. Let's see, and various of disposal of waste disposal. The numbers of Irrawaddy dolphins are declining, right? Then let's study about what is Irrawaddy dolphins. Scientific name is Orcaila brevirostris. Orcaila brevirostris. This is scientific name of Irrawaddy, Orcaila brevirostris, scientific name of Irrawaddy dolphin. Habitat: Irrawaddy dolphin was found in coastal areas of South and Southeast Asia in the 3 rivers, that is Irrawaddy, Myanmar, Irrawaddy, on the basis of which its name is given, then Mahakam, Indonesian, Borneo and Mekong, right, and Mekong river. So, and Mekong river Irrawaddy dolphins inhabit 118 mile stretch in the river between Cambodia and Laos. Mekong River. These dolphins have bulging foreheads, short beak and 12 to 19 teeth in each side of both jaws. Conservation status, eroded dolphins fall under Schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Protection Act. That means most important. Schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Protection Act. Eroded dolphins. Schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and are mentioned in the International Union for Conservation Nature IUCN Red List. IUCN Red List of Endangered Species. Right? It is mentioned in the as IUCN Red List of Endangered Species. Endangered. Schedule 1 and endangered. Schedule 1, those species which are mentioned in in Schedule 1 of Indian Wildlife Sanctuary, the Wildlife Act, we can say that the government want to prioritize them so far as their conservation is concerned, and it is an endangered species, right? So it is basically seen in the South Asia and Southeast Asia. Its scientific name is Orcaila brevirostris. Eroded dolphins. Then Chilika Lake, brackish water lagoon. It is a brackish water lagoon. Because why brackish? Because it is connected to Bay of Bengal. Over Puri, Khurda and Ganjam district of Odisha. Puri, Khurda and Ganjam district of Odisha in the east coast of Odisha. Asia's largest saltwater lagoon. Asia's largest saltwater lagoon, separated from Bay of Bengal by a sandy ridge. It is largest wintering ground for migratory birds in Indian subcontinent. Migratory birds from Siberia, they come to Chilika Lake during the winter season, right? Why they come? Because during the near Siberia it has become too much cold. That's why they come to Chilika Lake every year. Chilika Lake selected as wetland international importance under Ramsar. It was selected. Yes, wetland under Ramsar Convention. It was convention. It was also selected. Ramsar. What is Ramsar Convention? It recognizes the wetlands that are of international importance. The Ramsar Convention is wetlands of international importance, especially as waterfowl habitat in the international treaty for the conservation and sustainable use of wetlands. So Ramsar Convention, it recognizes important wetlands. Then Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary, it is located in Odisha. World's largest nesting beach for olive-ridled turtles. Yes, for olive-ridled turtles also it is very famous, and it is there, Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary in Ganjam district. They extend from Dhamra river in north to Brahmani river in south in the, so Dhamra river and Brahmani river, these two rivers in the south. Gahirmatha was declared turtle sanctuary in 1997 by Odisha government after considering ecological importance as part of efforts to save the sea turtles. In 1997, sea turtles, that is especially the olive-ridled turtles, in 1997 it was declared by this as a sanctuary by Odisha government. So this is, so Chilika Lake, largest brackish water lagoon, Odisha in east coast of Odisha, Asia largest saltwater lagoon. It is also a wetland under Ramsar Convention. Gahirmatha Marine Sanctuary that protects olive-ridled turtles from Brahmani river mouth to Dhamra river mouth. It is declared as sanctuary in 1997 by the state government of Odisha. I would like to tell you that from next day we will discuss, we will start our current affairs session based on prelims questions. We will discuss more and more questions, around 20 questions, prelim questions based on current affairs, and linked to general studies basic will be discussed every day on the fast that start will at 2:30 and it will continue up to around half an hour we will discuss for prelim and half an hour we will discuss for mains, right? So you both please attend and regularly you should answer them. I will check the answers if anybody can write, right? You can comment as well. Okay, so next